Okay, so I'll start with today's testing. So we still have 12 players that we haven't gotten their results from yesterday. So they're trickling in. And I'm telling you that because you may see guys coming out to practice late. You may see some guys that aren't out there we're just awaiting their results, or the results may come in the next 20 minutes and you'll see everybody out there. So we'll communicate with you on that. Just want to make sure that you guys are aware. So we're dealing with that as we speak. With yesterday, obviously a very unique day. As you all know, we had multiple positive tests come in, and I was one of them. So it was a very interesting morning. I will tell you that our organization mobilized immediately, got on top of it, followed the protocols, and ultimately, it was a fire drill, as it's been called, but it was a great reminder that we have to trust our protocols and make sure we're doing everything the right way, and prepared as always. So with that, I will take any questions.
Thank you for sharing that, Coach. We'll go to Scott Pedrick first.
Well, first, Kevin, what was that like for you personally? I'm sure there's some uncertainty there, not knowing if it was legit or not.
It wasn't fun, Scott. And I can laugh about it now, but truly it's not, wasn't fun to have that, phone call very early in the morning and not get the news that it was potentially an error until later. So it's something that I take seriously, and our whole goal with our players and our staff is to keep everybody safe. So that certainly was not fun.
And then you mentioned the players who are still waiting for those results. So like you got yours back, but there's just guys that haven't gotten it back.
Exactly right. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Mary Kay Cabot, you're up.
Hey, Coach, in that scenario, then did you have to? Were you able to coach the practice?
I was not. No, we good dry run for our contingency plans.
And so, who took over, and how did it go, and how did you kind of stay involved with that? Yeah,
I was constantly on the phone all day, obviously with everybody here. But Joe Woods ran the practice yesterday, did a great job. Having Callie here, obviously, she runs the show, so everything went off without a hitch. I was able to watch 7-on-7 on my iPad about 10 minutes after it ended. So very unique. It's kind of like a bad dream when a practice is going on and you're not there. It felt pretty strange.
Wow, thanks, Coach.
We'll go to Tony Grossi.
All right, I hate to change the topic, but I want to get this question in, so I'll ask it now. Kevin, I think Van Pelt said they did a 2-minute drill in walkthrough yesterday, which I think was the first 2-minute drill of your camp. Correct me if I'm wrong. And what's the state of the 2-minute drill? Was that why did it?
Tony, you're breaking up, but I think the question on 2-minute drill. We're getting through our install, so that is something that we are installing today.
Yes.
It is also something that we're revisiting these installs. This isn't the first time the players are hearing this, so we'll have some 2-minute situations today. We'll have some tomorrow. Really, once it's in, that's when we start to repeat those periods throughout training camp.
Fred Greetham, we'll go to you.
Hey, Kevin, you got Malcolm Smith and all that craziness yesterday. Can you talk about him and how he fits into your plans?
Yeah, excited to add a player of Malcolm's character, caliber and character, I should say. Really excited with his experience winning. There's a scheme fit here. We have multiple coaches on staff that have coached Malcolm, so excited to add him to the mix.
Jeff Chanel, your line is open.
Hey, Kevin, I'm sorry if you've given us this, but do you have an update on Mac Wilson?
I don't have an update on Mac. Hopefully we'll have one soon, though.
Tom Withers, you're up.
Hey, Coach, how long did it take you yesterday to find out that it was a false positive for you, that window?
Yeah, I think it was 4 hours. I think the call came in around 4 something, and then just before 9.
Okay, and I know there's going to be hiccups and bumps in the road here. Can you figure out a way where this can be eliminated? I mean, how dangerous could this be, Kevin, during the course of a season where all of a sudden you all have, a dozen or more false positives on a Sunday morning or something?
Yeah, I trust that we have the people involved that can get this thing right, and I'll just continue to control what I can control.
And during that 4 hours, were you still at the facility, or were you at home, or?
I was at home, and then I quickly left home, got in the car, figured that'd be a good idea, and then came down here to the condo that I was staying at near work, where it was empty, and I figured I could isolate there.
Thanks.
Daryl Ryder, your line is open.
Hey, Coach, piggybacking off of Tom's question there, what happens if this does something similar to this occurs on a Friday or a Saturday leading up to a game? I know you said you're confident that the bugs in the system or whatever can be ironed out, but it seems pretty severe if this happens to occur right before a game.
Yeah, Daryl, we're just going to follow the protocols. We have, we got a dry run of it yesterday, and we'll continue just to follow them. We have these contingency plans. That's why we laid them out. So we'll be prepared.
Nate Ulrich, you have our next question.
Hey, Kevin, I know you mentioned 12 players yourself. How many total false positives did the Browns have?
Yeah, so 12 players, that's the amount of guys that hadn't been cleared as of 5 minutes ago to enter the building today. So that's not from myself and the group from yesterday.
Okay. Do you know the number of false positives that the Browns had from the
I'll just tell you it was multiple, Nate.
Okay. And then is there any way you can walk us through what those 4 hours were like waiting for you? And I imagine there was a great sense of relief when you figured out what was really happening.
Yeah, there was. And again, we've worked so hard in this building and on this team and what this organization has done to keep our players and coaches safe. So when something like that happens, you immediately mobilize and make sure that we do everything in our power to continue to keep people safe. So we jumped on the horn, a lot of phone calls, and making sure that we were putting the protocols in place. And that's the good news is that there's a level of preparedness that we have here.
Scott Patrick, your line's open.
Hey, Kevin, we're supposed to talk to Odell here in a little bit. What have you learned about him since he's been back in Berea the last, 3 weeks?
I don't know what I've learned necessarily. I mean, we've spent a lot of time together out on the field, and I finally have gotten to see up close and personal his physical talent. That's been great to get him out here on the grass through individual drills, routes on air, 7-on-7. You just see the guy's skill set is very legit.
When you went back and watched the film of last year's season, could you see him not being 100%? And then can you see the difference to now?
I don't know, Scott, honestly. I can't remember the tape from last year. That was a long time ago.
All right, last one, Mary Kay.
Hey, Coach, knowing obviously, that you've got your 3 amazing small children and you were home at the time when you got this news, just kind of how scary was that for you to be with your family and with all your, kids that are starting school and all the things that must have been going through your head at that time?
Yeah, Mary Kay, again, not fun, but it just reinforces my feelings, and I told the team this. Our mentality and my mentality is, number one, you don't want to get this, and number two, you don't want to give it to anybody. So that is why we are so strict about the protocols. That's why we follow everything to a T. That's why we act in an abundance of caution, because we're trying to take care of each other, players, coaches, staff, and their families.